What up, what up? Welcome into another episode of Profit Picks. If you are new, we always start this show by being transparent. And yesterday ended up being a good day for myself. What was that? The Wings team total under was a winner, and the Sun team total over. Second play I took was also a winner. So nice 2-0 day. And I think that puts me a little bit above 11 units on the season. Try to keep that going here today. We have Mr. Rob Veno with us. Always good to have you up and break down the slate. How has WNBA been for you, and how are you doing today?
It's remained good, Skee. Yesterday, though, I didn't play, so I have nothing to report on yesterday. I kind of waited too long on the Diana Taurasi injury, and turns out Rebecca Allen was out as well. So I probably should have been on that early line move with Connecticut, but wasn't definitive whether or not they'd be out, so I didn't play. But Saturday, Sunday were both winning days, and currently on the season up 31.3 units. So it's been a really good WNBA run, and we'll see on this 4-game slate if we can't talk a few out and get to something here, because I got to admit, I was limited on what I played today for clients. Very, very limited.
Well, we'll talk it out. We got 4 games here to deal with. And I like this comment to start off here. Delroy says, "What's up, fellas? Well, if Rob's wife done all the laundry, he has to be wearing sky blue, light blue. I think it's his favorite."
It was available, Delroy, but I didn't choose. We went dark green.
Boofer spreadsheet is working.
There it is.
Looks like Boofer is a winner once again. So Boofer is already a member too as well. Appreciate you for guessing. And hit me up on Discord, or you know how to contact me, Boofer. Hit me up anywhere and let me know what's the best way for you to get paid, and you'll get some free lunch today. So shout out to Boofer and his spreadsheet. Everybody else, appreciate you guys taking the time for guessing. RB10 in the building. While I go through these comments, look, there's Casey Delroy. I was hoping she enjoyed her holiday weekend and let him dig through the closet today. Oh man,
you gotta love it.
That threw me off now. The chat is on fire. But there was one person yesterday who said, "I know you win, Skee, but every time I tell, you lose." And I was like, damn, that was putting the pressure on. I hope we tell yesterday. I'm looking for that guy in the chat, but I'll get through a couple more of these comments, then we'll get to today's action. Nathan says, "Thanks to Skee and Crispy Captain, I cashed a nice 3-leg. Love to hear that." And shout out to my boy Ronald Cabang, UCapper. He's out here in Vegas. I got to watch the games with him last night. We both swept the board, so it was lovely. And we both had a couple of beverages. So a good time hanging out with my guy RC. And Rob, I'll ask you too. Do you watch soccer? Because I got a little bit of I gotta talk about this a little bit. Do you follow soccer at all?
I don't follow it, but I will say, Skee, if you see my head going upwards, I have it on the monitor here, on a TV monitor, watching this Netherlands. I'm going to say this, and if people like soccer, I apologize, but it is the absolute most brutal thing to sit here and watch for 2 hours. I mean, I can't take it. I honestly can't take it. It's like I could go away for 2 hours and come back and just find out it's, a 0-0 draw or whatever. It's hard to watch. It really is.
I'm with you. I mean, God, USA versus Uruguay. Oh my God. I was like watching paint dry. All right. So I have to admit something. Okay. I'm walking around the casino yesterday. I'm pretty bored because 1, there's no WNBA until 7. 2, they didn't have any night tracks running for horses. And 3, all the food places in Westgate were pretty much closed yesterday. So I had absolutely nothing to do to kill time. And then so I'm walking around, and I had 3 people, one bartender, another friend that I know in there who bets. They come up to me, they're like, "Skee, you gotta take this over 2.5 in the soccer game." I'm like, all right, I can't bet my horses. I can't do what I normally do. I'll put a little something on it. Dude, they spent half of the match, if not more, just laying on the ground. And the clock continues to tick, 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 tick. That pissed me off, Robin. RC sitting there just laughing at me. I said, if I ever bet another soccer game, I'm betting under because all they do is lay on the ground.
That under 2.5 in every game is like clockwork. Just bet that. Wake up and bet that thing in every game, and don't worry, you'll collect at the end of the day. It's crazy, and the timing rules are crazy. Skee, I don't know where they just pull out of their hat how much extra time they're going to play. You know, well, this looks like 4 minutes for this one, so we'll add 4 on, or maybe 7. Meanwhile, I'm watching a game yesterday, which was 0-0. I think it was Portugal, and the 4 minutes of extra time are about to run out, and there's no sense of urgency to take this corner kick. They walk over there, they set up, they take up 3 minutes before the guy even gets the ball. I'm like, what is this? They call this thing the beautiful game. It's the most painful game to sit and watch. It really is. It's rough. I almost feel like they should eliminate one position from the field. And there's too many guys out there. Every time the ball goes somewhere, there's 8 guys right in front of it. It's kind of crazy how soccer is. So I don't know. I'm not big on it.
Yeah, definitely not big on it. Casey says USA is trash. They're absolutely trash. They don't deserve to move on to anything. Guys were terrible out there. Disgrace. That's how I was feeling watching it, at least. A couple comments I want to shout out here, or mention at least. Ray D'Amico says, and excuse me, y'all, I ate a lot of cheese today. So you know how it goes when I have the cheese. But Ray says the most popular thing on YouTube, guess Mr. Veno's shirt color. They were talking about it on another show.
Skee, we got to sell rights to this segment, Skee. Come on.
And a lot of people came in guessing dark green. They just weren't first. Mark says he comes in like clockwork. He tunes in around 11:30. Then he makes and eats a sandwich. Perfect timing. There was a Mike saying that he said that you must have to be a member to win. I can't find that comment. No, but only time it's only for members is when, you know, we're doubling up because somebody didn't get the guess correct last time. So when it's double the regular prize or triple, I feel like it should go to a member. Kylie says, I said green. Wow. This is the first comment I see from you, Kylie. And this is the second time that I've seen you saying this in the chat. The first comment I see is from Delroy at 908. And there is no comment from Kylie until this one that was on the screen. Oh, he says green right here, but it's 1040. And he says, listen to this one, Rob. Everyone who said green should win. Come on. What am I? Just the ATM, the bank? I'm paying everybody who's just guessing the color.
Plus, again, we have to go back to, we've established a chart. It's there for everybody. And there's 2 different greens. There's light green and there's dark green. So it just green isn't going to, that could cover a lot of things any day. So we can't, what did we say? That one time we said we're going to have to be hard asses from now on. So it can't just be green. Guys, you've got the list. I guess you have it in Discord, Skee, so everybody knows. If you're a member, you know.
Absolutely. You know, if you remember for sure. James Bond says soccer was crazy. OG Wham says hit the like button, family. Yeah, I was talking to Casey. I was pissed off. She knows they on the ground and all I see is tick, 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 tick. Oh, boy, I was hot.
It's a different game.
Charles,
That's
my guy. I met him yesterday as I'm coming out Westgate for a little smoke break. And he was like, he just was saying, you know, he tunes in, he watches. It was good to meet you, Charles. And I can't say I'll see you if you're going to be up there today because I'm heading out of town. So if you're ever back in town, hit me up. I always enjoy hanging with you, and it was nice to meet you and your family. Couple more. Look, disgrace. Yes. People are agreeing with us here, Rob. Not too many soccer fans.
Soccer is ass.
What up, Chris? My guy Chris does great work. You can get an early start, man. He's up early. You know, I'm not getting up that early. He's on a different coast, but he's doing a show at 6:30 a.m. Pacific time or 4:30 a.m. Pacific time. So make sure y'all wake up early, get that early info on my guy Chris. He's doing nice work, and he's cashing. Another, I want to do this too, Rob. And he says, be sure to hit the like button for the guys. I feel like I got to give extra respect and extra credit, whatever you want to call it, to people in this industry who I feel like do it the right way. And by that, I mean, they share information, they help everybody learn, and they're transparent in everything they do, and they win. And Chris is one of those guys. So shout out to my guy, Chris. I really respect your work, and keep it up, bro. Keep it up. Profitable NBA, profitable WNBA. I love to see it. You got something to say there, Rob?
Well, I was going to say, and you're not kidding when you say Chris is up early, because I'm on the East Coast and I'd be up at 6:30, 6:45, and I look on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it, and he's got people in there already. He's running the show on X. So yeah, Chris is up and early, giving you the best he can give you as far as info goes. We did a show together last week, all of us. It was a good time. So, yeah, credit to Chris. And I'm going to just backtrack real quick here. We're getting a little long-winded here, Skee, but I'm going to backtrack and say credit to Ronald Kabang. You brought it up. But I've had a great WNBA season, and I believe he just passed me for that number one spot at Wagertalk because he's been hotter than you can even imagine. I don't know the last time Ronald lost.
Yeah.
So he said to me,
I think he's,
you know what, Rob?
16 out of 17 or something like that. I think it is.
Yeah. It's been crazy. And we were texting the other day and he said, you know what? We should have made that a three-way package, Rob. I'm like, you know what? We should have thought of that.
Yeah.
He's been on fire.
You guys know, well, yeah, you know, Ron knows he's my guy. We should have made it you got to be careful, man. A lot of pauses. A three-way package.
There you go. I get myself into trouble all the time.
We should have made it something. I don't know about that thing. All right, let's
man, that's why I love this show
around here. And by the way, damn, I need some water. I'm getting choked up on that one.
That cheese is coming back now.
Oh man.
Three-way package.
Oh my god. All right. But one more shout out to my guy RC because I use his site to help me cap the games too. And I'll be pulling it up as we're going through the show. So make sure you guys check out themoneyballer.com. All right, Veno.
Yep. Yeah, we might open up a can of worms.
Killing me in the chat. All right, we got to get to the games, man. First one up, we have Lynx and Liberty. This one opened up Liberty -5.5. They're now a 5-point favorite pretty much across the board. Injury report. Let me just refresh here because, yeah, we have Sabrina questionable, and we don't have anybody on the injury report for this Lynx team. I got to say this here, Rob. I'm about done with this Liberty team. Really, honestly. Like, for one, it annoys me that Sabrina's on the injury report with an illness again. It's always somebody on the injury report when I feel like a big game. And I'm getting tired of that. Second, they're so iffy. Like sometimes they're playing good, they have all the chemistry. Other times they just look like I don't even know what group that is out there playing. So they're too inconsistent for me to put my money on them. I would like to think it's a good first quarter spot, but the Lynx been damn good. They've already beat them twice. It's hard to go against the Lynx in this matchup. Can you do it?
Not based on what we just saw about a week ago in this game, Skee. I mean, that was a good spot for the Liberty. They were playing fantastic. I think they had Courtney Vandersloot coming back to the lineup. I think Lainey Hamilton came back to the lineup that day. And they held a halftime lead, and Minnesota took off in the third quarter. And I think the Liberty made a run at them in the fourth, but Minnesota separated again. A couple of things I took from that game is Minnesota's been the best team all season long, creating points off of turnovers. And in that game, the Liberty crushed them 27-6 in that category. But the Lynx, to their credit, a methodical offensive team, they won the fast break category 20-6. They shot it well. They seem to always shoot it well. And, to your point about the Liberty being inconsistent, sometimes you don't recognize what you're looking at out there. the Lynx are very consistent. I mean, they show up the same way every single night, and I think they've been, I think maybe they were thought of to be a bit of an aberration early on, but they've proven they're one of the 3-4 best teams in this league. They'll be a threat in the playoffs. It's hard for me to go against them here, especially if, in fact, Sabrina doesn't play. That would be interesting. The total hasn't seen, I think it moved like a half a point backwards after shooting way up to 168 and now coming back to 167.5. And that game 7 days ago produced 183 points, which is rare for the Lynx. I think a lot of that fourth quarter was off of free throws. Liberty was trying to come back, foul score, so on and so forth. I didn't play it because I want to look at it like it's a Liberty revenge game, but it's hard against this team. Double revenge game, right? But it's hard because the Lynx constantly show up. So I didn't play it. Liberty has been scoring pretty well for quite a while now. But I don't know, 67.5 is a little bit high for me in this game. So I let it go. And maybe somebody's got something to say that could push me the other direction or one direction or the other. But I couldn't make up my own mind, side or total.
That 67.5 was the first half, you said?
Well, 167.5 full game.
Oh, okay. I thought I heard the 67.5. Well, I would ask you, a couple people in the chat. You have Niche, you have Zachariah, both liking that first quarter over. I mean, I do think that New York is more of like a first quarter team. So if I want to trust them to do anything, it's going to be early. Do you think it might be better to, or you can also take this one early at the 42.5?
That was the closest I came to a play because I played that over 42.5 first quarter when the Liberty played the Dream the other day, a couple of games ago, right? And the Dream scored 24 of them, Skee. And what did Liberty do? They gave me 13.
Late in egg.
Points. I'm like, come on. Where are the
couldn't
points?
Believe it.
Yeah, you're supposed to win that bet over 42.5 when the Dream gives you 24.25. So maybe I am, as everybody who watches your show when I'm on, as you guys all know, very big on bounce back stuff. And the Liberty had been an early starter, a pretty good early starter until that game. So maybe they bounce back here. But again, if Ionescu doesn't play, that's tough. Yeah, they have firepower, but I don't want to be there without Sabrina.
Yeah, and that would hurt the total too. I mean, she's somebody who's going to stretch the floor, who's going to hit some threes. We know that Lynx defense is tough. They definitely need Sabrina out there to help, at least if anything, with spacing. Last thing I want to say is, another reason to take Liberty first quarter is because Minnesota's bench is really good. Compared to Liberty's bench, it's like a whole nother level, in my opinion. So I do think Lynx can hang in this game. We shall see. I didn't get to the window just yet. Next game up, Rob, we have 629, 630, Chicago Sky, Atlanta Dream. Opened up Dream -1.5. Flip of favorites here. And total has gone down about 1.5 to 158. Ryan Howard remains out. Ariel Powers out. And the usual suspects for Chicago are out once again. So Atlanta, Ryan Howard went down. It was looking to me like I don't want nothing to do with this team. But Jordan Canada, getting her back in that lineup, she's been playing really good basketball. When you get your point guard back, it's obviously going to make the offense better. But I just feel like she's really affecting this, doing good things for this team on both ends. And I've seen them put up a lot of points. I don't have the exact numbers, but they've been scoring since she's been back in the lineup. For Chicago, I think the first thing that stands out to me is, Kennedy Carter. She's been starting lately, and she did used to play for the Dream. And there was some stuff that went on, and she got shipped off. She got in trouble over there. I want to say it was for fighting or something like that. Can't remember exactly. And then she got shipped off to the Sparks. So they did play once she didn't do too well, but I don't think she got that many minutes. Now starting, seeing her old team, it could be a situation where I could look towards another prop on Kennedy Carter, but because of that too, I think this guy come to play. Another thing I think of is Dream have been really bad in the first half, especially at home. And I shouted out my guy RC on the money baller. I could pull it up right here. First half at home for the Dream, I have them as 1-8 against the spread. And Sky, now I say that Sky have been better at home than on the road. So I just feel like the Sky don't play a full 40-minute game. That's kind of how I feel about them. In the Dream, I feel like the same, except they start after halftime. Granted, it's been a little bit different the past couple games, but that's just how I view these teams. I think Sky early. I have a feeling you're going to look at the total here, Rob, and I'm going to guess that you like it over.
Well, I'll say this. Chicago certainly plays the pace to get it over, but they showed the other day against Minnesota why I don't know. I've probably gotten lucky playing a couple Chicago Sky overs that did get there because they can't shoot, Skee. We know it. They haven't been able to shoot all season long. They played Minnesota the other day. They had 82 field goal attempts in a WNBA game. Anything over 80 is huge. 82 chances because they rebound so well. But they still only shot 30.5%. I don't care how many rebounds Angel Reese gets. They get the rebound, it goes back up, they miss. They get the rebound, they miss. They get the rebound, they miss, so on and so forth. They were 5 of 18 from three. They're the worst three-point shooting team in the league. Atlanta's not much better shooting the basketball. But I will say this, where the Dream is concerned, just watching those last two games, Jordan Canada's been back for 3 now, by the way. 75, 78, and 75 is what they've put up offensively with her back. But I want to look more at the Liberty and Connecticut Sky, the last two teams that they played. Sunday, they held the Liberty to 39.4% shooting. And the game before that, I know Connecticut doesn't shoot well, but Connecticut generally on the interior shoots well from 2-point range, only 39% for the game. So they've held those two teams back-to-back to under 40%. They certainly could hold Chicago to under that. I like the way in watching the last two games that they seem to be fairly cohesive. Again, you mentioned her name, Jordan Canada, but she brings a little bit of an aggressive spark to that offense. She tries to get to the rim. She draws a lot of fouls. Tina Charles has been good underneath. I think Tina Charles can battle with those with the two Cardoso and Reese from the Chicago side. And Alicia Gray, when she's right, she scores. She's 8 of 13 the other day. There's been games where she's been bad recently, but when she shoots it well, she's pretty good. So I think it's a tight game. I like the way Atlanta's playing better than I like the way Chicago's playing. For what it's worth, Chicago's 1-7 against the spread. Their last 8 games, they haven't covered 7 of their last 8, so they're not really a good money investment as of late. Total's probably in a really good spot, Skee, because you could see something like 78-76, 78-77 in this game, which is really close to the total. I don't think I would play it over. If I had to play, I would play the Dream. I just like the way the Dream is playing right now. They seem to be a little more cohesive. And somebody in your chat when I was on last week mentioned that the Dream is the biggest disappointment in the WNBA so far. They went in the offseason. They got some pieces that they thought were going to make them better. It hadn't worked out. But they look like they're playing pretty well right now, so I don't want to sell them short. If I was going to play, I would play Atlanta.
Well, the chat likes what you're saying, especially Chris. SZA says, great point. Dream have been clamping down with Canada. Niche, she's in agreement that the Sky get gassed by the fourth quarter. And dropping dimes even. He likes that Sky team total under. So a lot of people agreeing with you here, Rob, thinking that maybe Atlanta could bring some defense and get the job done here tonight. Game was tough for me. At all the games, I don't think this is one that I will be playing. So I wish you guys luck, and we'll move on over to the next one, which is 631, 632, Fever and Aces. Aces open minus 13. 13.5 is the current number. Total, though, it opened high, 173.5, all the way up as high as 179. So A lot of people loving this over tonight. Vegas looks like they will be without Tiffany Hayes. I thought she was out, but she's listed as doubtful. So not officially out yet, but it doesn't look good for her. And the Fever, they don't have anybody on the injury report. So maybe I'll give this one to you here first, though, Rob. But the market is smashing this one way. Do you think it's the correct way?
I think it's too high for my liking. I mean, if you got in early, our phrase, Skee, don't want the ass end of the line. I don't think you want it here with the total. The Indiana Fever, I've come on here a couple of times and said that despite their pace, they've been a really high scoring team. And that's the truth. They're up to I think they're ranked number 4 in offensive rating in the WNBA right now, or maybe it's number 4 in field goal percentage. I forget which, but their offensive numbers have been coming up. However, they played 20 games and only twice have they exceeded this number. So it's hard to take a team that's, 18-2 under this total. And I get that the Aces can score. And I looked at the Aces team total and it's like 97.5 or something crazy, 96.5, 96.
Yep.
Are we going to get 100 out of the Aces to get this thing over the number? I'm not sure. I think another thing that's kind of subtle here, Skee, I think Indiana's building some confidence. They walked into Phoenix the other day. First time those two teams had played. And I got lucky in this one because I got in and got out. I played Phoenix first quarter, knowing that Diana Taurasi and company would be ready for Caitlin Clark. Diana had a little bit to say well before the season began. She was interviewed before that game, and all she could do was turn her head to the side of the interviewer and say, it's going to be fun. I thought they'd come out with a little bit of fire. They did. They won the first quarter, but Indiana won the game. Indiana's second half was tremendous. Their third quarter was just a complete blowout of Phoenix. And I think that game built some confidence in this team. They had a couple of days off to now go here to Las Vegas. They're not the better team by any stretch of the imagination, but are they 14 points worse at this point in time? I'm not sure that they're that much worse. Las Vegas still hasn't clamped down on defense the way you'd like them to. They're a little bit giving. Again, I think it's the pace that they play at that has a lot to do with that. So when I looked at it all together, I just thought, and again, I didn't play it, but I would think Indiana plus 13.5, 14 points in some spots now. I think that's probably worth a shot. I don't know that Las Vegas they could destroy them, but I would take my chances that Indiana sticks within the big number. They just look a little bit confident. And they're whole again, right? They have no injuries. They were injured for a little bit. They're not injured now. Last couple of games have been good. So I think it would be Indiana plus for me.
And I get it. It is the big spread here. It's a couple things before I get started, or before that I don't want to forget. It was some things in the chat here. First of all, shout out my guy RC. He tapped in. You should probably go back and check out the intro. Maybe start at like the 5-minute mark. I think it was pretty funny. And there was some things we were talking about. Absolutely was good hanging with you there yesterday. You say, and he says Aces team total under. I'm trying to find where it is. So does Ian. Everybody likes Aces team total under. And that scares me. That scares me to death. I mean, Fever are not known to be a defensive team. Why are we targeting just the Aces? I get that the Aces defense hasn't been great all season, but they've been playing better lately. Like I'm looking at both of these teams. Vegas held Washington 77, Chicago did score 83, Connecticut 74. I just feel like their last 3 games have been a little bit better on the defensive end. Because before that, they were giving up 90, 99, 100, 80, like they were giving it up for real. So I think they focused in on the defensive end for Vegas. And the Fever, I don't see a whole lot of defense. I mean, they held Phoenix to 82, I guess. With Phoenix not in the best spot right there, maybe looking ahead too. Seattle scored 89, Chicago scored 88. Like, I do not trust this Fever defense. To see everybody like an Aces team total under, I can't believe it, honestly. I would be thinking Fever team total under. I think that the Aces defense steps up. I think that the Aces offense, is going to be good with Chelsea Gray in there all the time. But I feel like Tiffany Hayes, like when Chelsea Gray is not playing, I think Tiffany Hayes is a good boost for them offensively as far as like setting people up and stuff like that. So I think they'll miss her. And I don't know, Rob. I guess I'm looking at Fever team total under. That's what most catches my attention. You any what would you say? Fever team total under or Aces team total under if you have to pick?
There's no way I would bet Aces team total under, but it's so high that I can't bet it over. I think that's you got to get to 97 to win that bet. And I don't want to bet against them getting to 97, but I don't want to be on them getting to 97 either. For the Fever at 81.5, they've gone over that number 6 of their last 8. Granted, they haven't been against the best teams in the league. They did get over that number against Phoenix the other night. They seem to be a little more confident recently. So maybe their team total over because it's lower, so much lower than Las Vegas is. But again, they're hard decisions, Skee. Like I texted you before we came on the show and said, to me, this board is difficult. And this is one of the games that's difficult. I feel like the Aces are going to score, but I don't want to be sitting there hoping for them to get near 100 in this game. It's hard. 95 is a big number, and it could be a number that covers the game, full game, but it wouldn't be enough to get you over a team total. So, again, I think the people that got in here early, when the numbers as far as totals are concerned were better, you guys got the best end of this. I wish I had been there, but at this point where it's so stretched out to, these numbers are too high for me.
I feel you on that. LJ giving a look here on Asia to bounce back over 26.5 points. Eric can talk you out that, especially versus a Fever defense. I think that's a solid way to look at it. Just trying to see, make sure I didn't, overlook some comments here. Comment section. Hey, B Daddy, chill out, man. I'm just kidding. They're having some fun in the chat. He hopefully knows what I'm talking about, and I'm just kidding. Let's see. Don't gotta. Can you see the comments, Rob?
No, I refuse to look because I won't be able to do the show if I look. I can't look. After that 3-way package, I can't look.
Oh yeah. Oh, that was rough right there. Chris says since the start of last season, totals above 175 are 6-1 to the under. And he also reminds us that this is the last game of a 4-game road trip for
the Fever.
For the Fever. So it might not be the best spot for them here tonight. He loves that you guys are aligned mostly today. So that's always good news there. And yeah, like you said, Fever been playing good. They've been covering. So maybe 14 is too much, but I don't think it's a great spot for Fever. That's just my opinion. Couple questions here. Niche says, how do you feel about catching first half over 87 live, if possible? First half over. I mean, what is the first half number right now? You just look at that. That's where we got to start. I mean, 87, 89.5. I mean, it's not much difference there. I'm not really looking towards over in this one. I think that the Aces defense is going to come to play. So I guess I don't agree, Niche. All right, let's move on over. Next game we have, last game for today, Mystics and Sparks. And this one opened up -0.5. Looks -0.5 for Washington. Looks like Sparks are now the favorite, -1. Oh, I'm sorry. This is first half. I was like -0.5. Opened up -1 for Washington. Now -2 for the Sparks. Total has gone up 1.5 points. Looks like 163.5. And injury report. Mystics still without Shakira Austin, still without Sykes. Samuelson, we know she fractured her hand, so shorthanded for them. On the other side, Sparks without Lexi Brown because of that. Was it the Crohn's I forget what it was called. I think it was Crone something like that. But she's still out. Azure Stevens still hasn't been available yet. I'll say this here, Rob. Mystics, this has been a few years, like maybe even since as long as I've been watching WNBA, they've been a really good first half team. They just you can't the type of team you can't trust for the full 40 minutes. So first half numbers on the road, 7-1-1 ATS. Overall 13-4-2. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's just kind of how I'm feeling here. Um, there was something else I was looking at. Last 5 games, I mean, if you look at stats wise, Mystics are number 4 offensive rated team, much better than the Sparks. They've also been the better defensive team. Sparks are second worst. And I want to say they've been the better rebounding team. Yeah, the slightly better rebounding team. I could only look towards the Mystics here. First half, I think it was plus a half or +1, whatever it is. That's how I would play it. What do you think about this game, Vino?
Yeah, I like it over, Skee. I bet it over 162. Or excuse me, 162 and a half. It's gotten to 163 and a half, maybe 164. I've been a little bit lucky with the Sparks and Mystics on overs within the last 10 days. The Mystics, believe it or not, they're the second best 3-point shooting team in the league all of a sudden. They're shooting from distance. We mentioned it last week. LA gives up a lot from distance. And just as far as points are concerned, the LA Sparks have given up 87 or more in 6 of their last 8. Now, Washington played without Carly Samuelson in their last game against the Aces, and they scored 77. What's even better is they scored 77 on the Aces with an 8-point fourth quarter. So they scored 69 in 3 quarters against the Aces. And then the Aces locked them down in the fourth and got that win. But the Sparks can't lock down like that. I mean, it would have to be ridiculously bad shooting on the Mystics for them to have an 8-point quarter here. I don't want to jinx them because I'm on this game, but I feel like they'll score. I like the way the Sparks play offense. Their overall numbers are not going to show any of it because when I went through them, it's hard to build the case on overall numbers that the Sparks are a good offensive team. But just watching them in that last road trip, somehow, some way, despite the shorthandedness, they get their share of points against pretty good teams. Against the Liberty, they got 88 and 80. Against Phoenix, they got 78. Against Connecticut, they wound up getting to 70. Against Minnesota, 76. Against Seattle, 79. Those are 4 of the top defenses in the league. So the Sparks are not one of those you talked about. I think you said they're second worst over the last 5 games defensively. The Sparks are. So I think the Mystics will score here. I think the Sparks will score back. I think Clarendon is in tonight. She had been out for a couple of games. She's back. She's not on the injury report. Gives LA a little bit extra depth-wise. So I'm there, Skee. Like I say, I got it last night at 62 and a half. I think the client release was at 63 because it moved fairly quickly this morning. But I think it'll get over. I think that's kind of a low number for these two, the way they're going.
Well, I got to be fair here about the Sparks' last 5 games. They've been versus pretty good opponents. Phoenix, Liberty twice, Sun, and then the Dream there. So, I mean, even before that, they played the Lynx and the Storm. They've had a very tough schedule, and they played all those games on the road. Like, they've been on the road since after June 9th. So the only thing I'll say is that is usually a flat spot, but they had a few days off before this one. What do you think about that, Rob? When you've been on that long road trip, but you have what was it here 3 days before your next game? Do you think it's still a flat spot?
In the NBA, we usually don't get 3 days off after the really long trip and first game home. I know we use that as a handicapping angle quite a bit. In the WNBA, I haven't found it as big of a or as significant a factor as it has been in the NBA. But then again, you know, I'm a guy who's handicapping this for clients for one season. So I don't have any history to go back on to tell. But I do think that these WNBA teams, they do get a lot of extra time off. So maybe 3 days. And again, the way the Sparks are playing, I think was pretty good. And in fact, just to build on what you said, Skee, because you talked about how good the schedule was, and I think I tried to point this out, that I was going from their offensive end against those really good defenses where they put up points. The Mystics aren't a good defensive team. They should be able to get more than that here than what they were getting on the road. So I don't know that I would count. This is just me talking. I don't know that I would count or put a lot into the fact that it's their first game home, especially since they had off a long road trip, especially since they've had 3 days off.
All right, fair. And I'm looking at Washington. They've had 2 tougher games lately, Connecticut and Vegas, and they played them both well. So I think coming back and playing a team like the Sparks, they'll look even better here tonight. Mention this really quick. Both teams within the 2.5 point spread range. Mystics 1-0, Sparks 0-3. Sparks, their role this season has been as a double-digit dog. Other than that, looks like they've been losing you money all season long. So Mystics for me, early, I think is the best way to approach this one. And we've been on here for 40 minutes. The first, 10, maybe 15 minutes were pretty fun and messing around. But I think we did a pretty good job on capping the card. So on that note, we'll move it on over to best bets. If I can do my job correctly. There we go. Best bets. So, and let's see if I can continue to do my job correctly. Let's do like this. Yeah, there we go. So this was put up. These numbers are from what was it, Friday or Thursday or whenever before we give best bet promo, obviously. But before we these numbers are from before the weekend, is what I want to say, when the special first went up. I know I should be something like 38 and 27, something like that. Plus 11.3 units. I do know that. And Veno, I know you did say, Ronald's been really steaming, but I know you've been hot too. So if you want to speak about your updated numbers, and this is the special to get both of us together.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously we've both had winning seasons. For myself, it's 65% season, plus 33.8 as far as return on investment is concerned, but profitable units 31.3. So combined, Skee, if I have the numbers right, 62 and 40, 22 games over 500 for you and I combined, which is really, it's going to make you money. So again, there is the special right there for you guys if you want to join in with us from now until the remainder of the season. I think it includes playoffs and everything, so you can go right through to the championship. You can get it right there. You can find it on my homepage. You can find it on Skee's homepage. I want to say something here quick. There was a comment. Somebody, Skee, was mentioning perhaps they wanted to in-game bet the total over in the Las Vegas, Indiana game. I think it was like, would you look at over 87 in-game? Just to Indiana in general, first half totals, they're 7-0-1 over the total last 8 games in the first half. They've been a money machine as far as first half overs are concerned, but you can kind of put the brakes on that a little bit by saying the Aces are 0-3 over in the first half. They're 3-0 to the under their last 3 games, but Indiana's been a first half over money machine. So again, I forget who made the comment, but I just wanted to bring that up. And then last but not least, best bet for this show. I'm just going to go back to what I bet. It was the only bet I made today. It was the only client release, and that is the Mystics and the Sparks up and over. Right now we're looking at 163.5. I do think you're probably good up until 166 in this game. For all the reasons that I mentioned, the Mystics have they kind of turned their season around about 8 or 9 games ago when they just decided that they were going to go heavier on 3-point shooting, and it's worked. They've been really good. Ariel Atkins has been really good for them, obviously, at scoring the ball, and the 3-point shooting has been real good. And the Sparks, to me, after going through all of those top 4 defenses on the road and putting up the full game numbers that they did from 75 to 80 points in almost any. At home against the Mystics, you should be able to exceed 80 points. So I like it over. I like it over 163.5. That'll be my best bet for the show. Nope. Did we lose Skee?
My bad. I was talking too. I'm trying something new here. But there we go. I was saying to what you said there, Rob, about that 3-point shooting. I know at least the last 5 games, Mystics are number 1 as far as shooting it from the corner, and Sparks have been allowing the most 3-pointers from the corner in that span and allowing teams to make them too. So maybe a place where the Mystics can take advantage there. I like, for my best bet, we will go with, and let's see if I can do that again the right way. I think that was a pretty good look there. And I forget how I do it. No. Oh, well. We'll figure it out again next time. Oh, there we go. There we go. I can get it like this. So my best bet for the show, we'll rock with Mystics first half. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. They've only lost 1 so far on the road. Sparks first game back at home. They have been playing good competition, but so have the Mystics. And it's really just if it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of a deal. I explained a lot of reasons why I liked it earlier, but this is right now what I'm willing to make the best bet for the show. So +1 is available on a lot of books. That is what I'll take for my best bet. And see if we can get this back here. There we go. I'm working it out. I'm getting it there. Let's get it back like this. All right, Rob. So it's been great. Always great to do the show with you. Nice work on your WNBA season so far. I didn't get a chance to look at the schedule. We'll talk. We'll see when we can do it again. I know I'm going to travel today, and we'll see about tomorrow or Thursday or whatever. But appreciate you taking the time to come on the show and share the information. For the people in the chat, I appreciate you all as well. A lot of great cappers, a lot of great people, and we have a good time. I know those first 10 minutes were a lot of fun to start this show. So best of luck if you tell. Good luck, everybody, on all your action. Catch you guys later. Peace.